Students, I hope all of you have had a very nice break. If you took your break, if your school break is different than the QVS break and you took the QVS break, then please work during your school break. Please only take one break. Everybody should be finished. I have AP Psychology up here, but everybody is in the same situation. After fall break, there's 1 week to finish Unit 2. So if I can go through all my courses, I'm only going to do 2. I'm not going to make you sit here to go through all of them. But you can see in all of the courses under modules, the goal is to finish Unit 2 this week. And that brings us to something that I've been talking about for a while, how I use the D deadlines, right? Students will be assigned a D if they do not work consistently on the course or otherwise fail to make sufficient effort towards mastering the course according to the schedule. Should say, the preset schedule. Shouldn't say preset schedule. If students are more than 1 unit behind the course pace, then a D will be placed on the status report until students show mastery on the unit. For example, that if the class starts Unit 3 and the student hasn't finished Unit 1, that's what we're going to be doing next week, right? Unit 1 will be marked with a D until the student earns a mastery or above mastery. For students who I always let students try the A-level work. I don't say you cannot do the A-level work if you're behind schedule. I don't recommend it. I recommend getting B. If you need to retest for something, then I won't make retests until you're up onto that schedule. All right, so that's just where we are. Now, whenever this message goes out in the past, I often get just bombarded with assignments. And this brings me to the other thing I wanted to talk about today. During break, I was looking a little bit at this man, Dyer's work. A very interesting guy. And one of the things he talks about is how whatever we're thinking is what ends up happening in our lives. And that seems so impossible given all the things we're out of control over. But we can't control the things that are outside of us, but we can control what we're thinking. And so that's what I'm asking you to do right now. If you're not finished with Unit 1, I would like you to watch your thoughts. Instead of thinking, I need to finish this as fast as possible so I don't get a D, what happens there is your intention is just to finish. Your intention is not to learn something. And when your thoughts are that way, you end up making mistakes, you end up rushing, and everything actually takes longer. Let's see if I can find it. I'm also reminded of this quote. My father-in-law had this in his barn. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. Right? The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. And that's what happens when I see students who want to finish. So more than you finishing everything as fast as possible, you gotta have a consistent routine. All right? And the other thing that I take out of this quote, I don't want to make my video too long this week, but the other thing I take out of it, and I hope you can see from my actions, is that I don't want to be in a negative state either. I don't want to have thoughts in my head of being upset with students. It doesn't help me work with you. So please understand that if you're behind and you ask me for something, I'm going to be very happy to help you. I might direct your thoughts like I'm saying today so that your thoughts are on learning the material, right? You're taking this class so not just so that you can finish it and graduate. I hope you're taking the class because you really would like to learn something. So I'm here to help you learn. I don't get upset, right? I can't want it more than you do. So as soon as you start to work, my efforts can match your efforts. All right? I'm going to send messages to anybody who hasn't finished Unit 1 to try to help you get working on it this week. And I hope if you haven't found a consistent schedule yet, that you find a way to work daily. And for those of you coming back from break, this is a very important week to get right back into your routine. So I sometimes find that students had a good routine until fall break, and then it becomes very difficult to get back on that routine. All right, and very last, you will notice on your course pages, for everyone has this, I need to go home. Everyone has a thing called course pacing. This is a very good, I have only the first half up here, so we just had fall break. It marks the D deadlines. I want to bring just your attention to one thing because QVS teachers have a choice on this. I will turn the course page off completely for the first 2 weeks of winter break. So you won't see anything basically in December. It'll get turned off. You can't turn anything in. I will turn it on the last week of break, the week in January, so if you're behind, you can work. But please don't plan on, leaving Unit 3, 4 for winter vacation. All right, get back on your schedule, work daily, and let's make it the goal to be done with our units 1 through 4 for most classes. AP Psych has a little bit of Unit 5, but to be done with those units so that you can take a nice break with your family. Thank you very much. Have a great week and keep sending me your questions on Teams.